This interview is for information only and should not be considered as investment advice or a recommendation to buy shares in the company featured. Welcome to this Stock Box interview.
So, I'm sitting down with Paul Johnson, the CEO of Power Meta Resources. Good to be back in person, Paul. It's been quite a while.
Yes.
You look a bit different to what I'm used to seeing on Zoom, but it's great to be sitting down in person again.
You're in Farnborough,
Yeah, in Farnborough.
the epicenter of the world resource search.
Indeed, Power Meta Resources head office.
Yeah.
So, there's a lot going on in Power Meta Resources. The portfolio is vast, and at the moment we're in August, where people tend to be on holiday and the volumes go out. But what are the key catalyst points, do you think, in Power Meta Resources? What's going to make investors money?
Yeah, it's what they're wondering at the moment, isn't it? That how are they going to turn their diminishing pots into much bigger sources of capital for themselves in the future? I get that because I've lived this world now for a dozen years in the junior resource space trying to make money. And it's gone very well overall from a personal perspective, but there have been patches in that 12 years when it's been incredibly difficult. And this is one of them. I don't think it's that bad, to be honest. I've been through so many of these. I'm just quietly getting on with my personal work and, not doing that much dramatic investing because I'm focused on what I'm doing with power. But I'm very optimistic for where we're going. In terms of Power Metal, our drivers for the share price are going to be discoveries. Every day of the week. It's what we've set out from the beginning in February 19, that we were going to build a portfolio and build a business structure behind it that can yield multiple discoveries. And that's the thing that will lift our price, I think, more than anything else.
So where are these discoveries going to come from then?
Yeah, that's the famous question that I think most directors try and avoid because they don't want to show favoritism to any, one project or put too much hope on anything in particular. We're fine, I think, now because we have that portfolio approach, so we can talk about a number of our interests as leading the race, as it were. My crystal ball is a bit foggy. That's a phrase I learned from Terry Grammer back in Metal Tiger days when anyone asked him about what was going to happen, specifically in a part of the business or where a discovery would come from. But we've got a focus on district scale opportunities. That's where our big discoveries, I think, will come from. We've done lots of work around the world with North America, Africa and Australia. But most of our advanced projects, as it were, are in Africa, and there's some in Australia as well. So let's look at Africa first. Well, the popular projects at the moment where most people think there is a good chance of success, and they would be right, is the Kalahari Copper Belt that we have in joint venture with Kavango, where we're showing some fantastic preparatory exploration leading up to drilling, and we're looking to drill those targets in the South Ganti project as soon as possible when we have the environmental management plan finalised. What's perhaps missed, though, are some of the other projects where there have been, there has been lots of work done over the years. So, Ditau project in Botswana that's held in the joint venture with Kavango. Favourite of mine for many years, never really managed to be as successful as they hoped, but we've got new targets, we've got a new exploration methodology, and we're about to embark in due course on drilling Ditau again. So I'm very optimistic about Ditau, and that's the rare earths focus project. Tati, the new project that we've just exercised our option to earn into 100% interest, which is near Francistown, a little bit further in the northeast of the country from the Kalahari Copper Belt. And we've got some very strong gold and nickel targets there, and our plan is to drill them this year. Quite soon, hopefully. So that's another one where we think there is big discovery potential. There are other favourites that people have talked about in recent months. One is Malopo Farms, where with 500 metre deep holes, the kind of thing that juniors don't engage on, we were able to confirm the geology. We were able to find significant nickel intersections. We're very fortunate. You don't, with 3 holes, generally get the quality of information that we have from it. You know, we found the commodity we're targeting, nickel sulfides. Now we need to vector in and go and find that big deposit, but very optimistic there. And then Hanetti, of course. Good old Hanetti with Katoro Gold, our joint venture partner, where we are desperately eager to see that drill program running. We think on discovery there could be a tremendous amount of value. So Africa, lots going on.
So there's work going on now then on the ground?
Yeah, there's work going on either on the ground or in preparatory desk-based exploration across every single one of our projects that you see in our project role. Some is more active on the ground than others. I think we're planning for half a dozen drill programs by the end of 2021 across our business interests. So a hugely active period.
So really the rest of 2021 is going to be very important in Power Metal's journey?
Oh, I think it's make or break from my perspective. We built this portfolio. We're about to drill across this portfolio. Obviously, we've talked about Africa. We've also got Australia with the Victoria Goldfields. We've got multiple drill targets emerging there. That's a joint venture with Red Rock. We've got the new vehicle, First Development Resources, that we're waiting for the grant of the Walao license to enable us to do that acquisition and then move on, spin it into its own vehicle, separate IPO, and then go for some of those deep Javier style targets, which doesn't get much conversation at the moment, but should do. And then skipping over to North America at Golconda project, where we're just waiting for the permits to come through to do the work. The preparatory work will be done. This is high-grade, near-surface gold that we hope to move into drill programs as soon as possible, and that's part of Gold and Metal Resources package, which is, again, another spin-out vehicle. So there's lots of activities. It's almost on the edge of confusing, I think, for the investor base trying to follow this story. And it's a difficult balancing act for me as CEO to make sure enough information comes out as we make progress without overloading the market. And it's one of those messages that does come together as the story starts to build and the successes through discovery start to happen.